Good day, classmates, and to our professor, Dr. Amy Manda. I'm Angelica Faye Dela Vega, and I will be reporting about the psychological approaches to understanding crime. And of course, for our learning objectives, to be able to develop awareness to psychological approaches to understanding crime. Okay, so before anything else, classmates, ask yourselves, have you ever committed any kind of crime? So, kung ang sagot niyo po ay oo, so this topic will help us to understand what are the factors, no? Why people commit crime. I would like to start this session with a famous quote from Hakan Nasser. A crime is born in the gap between the morality of society and that of the individual. So without further ado, you are seeing on your screen the factors that affect why people commit crime. Okay, so to make it simpler or easier for us to memorize it, we have a mnemonic here. Some men find psychology boring, or the SMFPB. S for situational and environmental factors. M is for macro-sociological factors. F is for family and developmental factors. P is for psychological factors. And B for biological factors. So, sana po matandaan niyo po to. Some men find psychology boring. Yung mga lalaki dyan, do you find psychology boring? Okay, so yeah. Okay, so for the first one, we have here situational and environmental factors. Okay, do you agree or do you believe that the physical environment influences criminality? Okay, so under the situational and environmental factors, we have the environmental design, lack of protection, and no surveillance. This is the first theory under the situational and environmental factors. According to the rational choice theory developed by professors Derek Cornish and Ronald Clark, offenders seek maximum reward when they think about committing a crime. The theory explains that offenders calculate the perceived benefits and the cost of offending. So, nagkakaroon po tayo dito ng parang calculation, no? It's mathematical. So, nagkakaroon siya ng cost-benefit analysis. Okay? So, the experts explains that this decision to offend in the first place is psychological or it's a choice that they make. Okay? It's a rational choice na-involve yung cost-benefit calculation. So, nagkakaroon sila ng pag-iisip na there are certain cases that are available. So, nagkakaroon sila ng pagko-compute kung mas malaki ba yung makukuha nila in offending the crime and then pay the bail after, or mas malaki yung babayaran nila sa court rather than sa makukuha nila sa crime, like that. Second theory under the situational and environmental factors is the routine activities theory developed by professors Lawrence Cohen and Marcus Pelso. So the routine activity theory explains that for a crime to occur, there needs to be number one, a motivated offender, number two, a suitable target, and number three, the absence of an available guardian, be it a parent, teacher, or a supervisor, or maybe a CCTV. So this explains why may mga tao na nag-steal or for example, nag-steal ng mga phones or laptops when they are left unattended. The third theory under situational and environmental factors is the broken windows theory developed by James Q. Wilson and George L. Kelling. This was published in The Atlantic in March 1982, and this theory explains that how less serious crimes at untended areas in our neighborhoods, littering and signs of disorder This decreases neighborhood residents' willingness to enforce social order, which leads to more serious crimes. So the point here is that that's why it's called broken windows. If there is a broken window which remains unfixed for some times, it suggests that no one bothers or no one is watching or no one cares, right? Kaya hindi siya napifix. So, this is why, or this turns that for the offender to commit more crimes or much more serious or bigger crimes. Okay, so therefore, this theory suggests that if we do not attend to the smaller things or to the smaller crimes, we invite bigger problems. Okay, so it also suggests that there is a need to fix minor crimes, like for example yung mga vandalism, littering, like that, small damages, kasi sooner or later it can really um, trigger or like invite bigger problems along the way. Next is the macro-sociological factors. Do you agree or do you believe that unemployment and poverty are factors that leads to poor people to commit crime? The first theory under the macro-sociological factors is the social disorganization theory. This theory explains that the structures in society are related to the amount of crime in the society. The more unstructured and disorderly the society is, the greater the amount of crime. So here, this theory suggests that if there is poverty and unemployment, there is more crime rate. And when you are in a good economy or good society, there is less crime rate. So the explanation here is that, um, for example, in the unemployment case, right? If you are employed, when you are employed, you are busier with your work, okay? So then, so you do not have any more time to commit crime, okay? The next theory is the general strain theory. This theory explains that everyone in society has some material and non-material goals that they want to achieve but are unable to because they lack the opportunities or may have poor family and peer support. So the GST or the general strain theory explains that this poverty or we have everyone has goals, pwedeng material na bagay or non-material na bagay, and because of the social or the economic status, they cannot achieve their goals. So they instead they achieve their goals in a negative manner. So minsan nagko-commit sila ng crime para lang ma-achieve nila yung goals nila na yon. So for example, there are for example, material goals. For example, you want an iPhone 14 Pro Max. So you do not have the capacity. Wala kang hindi mo pa kaya bumili nun. So what you do, you can commit a crime. Pwede kang magnakaw sa store or magnakaw sa kaibigan mo, like that. Okay, so that's general strain theory. The next one is the social control theories. This theory explain why people obey rules and accept social control. This series explains that crime is thrilling, fun, and personally reinforcing to those who commit it. And if we're not for the controls and checks in the society, most people would commit crime. So there is this social control theory, or yung mga offenders, they have control to themselves. And crime will mostly occur when there is lack of social control. Next is the deterrence theory. This theory explains that crime will depend on the certainty, swiftness, and severity of punishment for a crime. So, yung mga offenders here in this theory, nagbe-base sila sa uh, punishment, or so kung gaano ba kabigat yung magiging consequences ng crime before sila mag-commit ng crime. The next one is the labeling theory. This theory looks into the sources of labeling, how criminals are labeled, and the effect that labels have on individuals. So, the main idea here is that being labeled as criminal, so parang pag nilabel na sila as criminal, mas lalo pa silang magiging criminal, or yung self-image nila magiging negative na. So, mas lalo silang mag magko-commit ng crime because they are labeled as criminals. The next one is the family and developmental factors. This is usually discussed as developmental criminology, or it refers to the studies about the development of offending from womb to tomb, the influence of risk and protective factors across different ages, and the effects of life events on the course of human development. So here we have conduciveness of home environment, absent parenting, poor supervision by parent, and child abuse. So these factors will greatly affect people to commit crime. So for example, child abuse. If you are abused as a child, there's a bigger possibility that when that child grow up, he or she can also abuse someone or be a criminal. Okay, so another one, if there is poor parenting, right? Like may nag-aaway may laging nag-aaway sa bahay, may broken family, like that. They are actually factors that are linked to delinquency.
Up next, we have the psychological factors. We have here impulsiveness and low empathy. So for this one, we are all aware that um, mataas yung crime rate when it comes to person that are having or they are diagnosed with psychological disorders or psychopathology. Okay, so also in the or in the lack of empathy, there is the inability to see that others perspective. So here, people are not sensitive enough that they didn't really understand that they are already committing a crime. For the last one, biological factors, no? So we have here genes, brain injuries, and chromosomes. So meron pong crime na uh, nakukuha based dito sa mga factors na to. So I'll give an example sa genes. So for example, if father is a criminal, then there is a higher chance po, no, na his child is maging criminal then. So, that's it. Thank you very much, classmates, for listening today, and also Dr. Amy for the opportunity na makapag-present ko today. Thank you so much. And I hope that you learned a lot today. And if you want to read more, this is my reference. The one on the our Google Classroom, Crime and Behavior: An Introduction to Forensic Psychology PDF. So if you want to read it, I will also include the link. Thank you very much for listening and have a good day.